Hello, and welcome to our Wellness Ambassadors at Work interview series hosted by myself, Lisa Kelly of Kelly Wellness Consulting, Inc., and founder of the Workplace Wellness Ambassador Certification Programs. In this series, we interview our KWC Certified Workplace Wellness Ambassadors, along with other industry guests from across the globe, to learn about their perspectives and their achievements in creating healthy, thriving organizations. We hope our series will inspire you, our viewer, to do your part in cultivating cultures of health and well-being at your own workplace, or perhaps with organizations you may work with as an independent coach or consultant. I'm honored today to be joined by Stephanie Flanders-Martin of Lavender Elephant Health and Wellness. Stephanie is one of our recently certified Master Workplace Wellness Ambassadors from our Master Program. So welcome, Stephanie, to our Wellness Ambassadors at Work interview series.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, it's such a delight. So, Stephanie, I'd like to start by having you open up our interview and share a little bit about your wellness coaching background, your workplace wellness consulting background, and, maybe a little bit about what you gained from having done our program recently and what your goals and aspirations are as now a newly certified Master Workplace Wellness Ambassador.
Yeah, no, I'd be glad to. So my history goes, I got my health coaching certificate from Institute of Integrated Nutrition and started my business in 2014. And so I started doing independent coaching. And my background is I have a bachelor's degree in nutrition, and my history went directly from that into working in the restaurant business. So after 28 years, I really was missing and kind of longing for getting back to really where my passion was, which was nutrition and wellness. So I took the certificate program thinking, okay, I'm going to up my skills and kind of get myself in the swing of things. And absolutely loved it. I started doing mostly independent coaching, and I did independent coaching for about almost a year. And then about middle of next year, I started doing independent coaching, but small groups. But what I found through the fall was there was something missing. I loved everything I was doing, but there was something missing. And then I saw your program, which was the Workplace Wellness. And right at the end of last year, an ad came up at a local publishing company for a wellness concierge. So I applied and got that position. So now I work as a wellness concierge for a publishing company. There's about 221 employees. And what I do for them is design all their wellness programs and then facilitate them and, try to keep the company active and review, kind of where the company's at and the statistics and stuff like that.
Yeah. Can I just ask you, just for the benefit of our viewers, and even for some of our own master ambassadors, could you define or distinguish between, say, a workplace wellness concierge and maybe, an internal in-house workplace wellness coordinator?
Right. So I'm actually on site and I work part-time for them.
Okay.
So I actually take I have a specific minimal amount of budget, but what I do is I work with Kaiser's as our provider and use a lot of the funds provided to them for wellness programs and work in tandem with the availability of that budget, and then develop programs, but also use a lot of the programs that they have available for us and facilitate them.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So if I may, and correct me if I'm wrong, as I understand a wellness concierge or workplace wellness concierge, as you were doing, you're very much serving the role of, say, an in-house wellness coordinator, but you just do it as an independent consultant. You're brokering, yourself out, I guess, to that company, right? As a consultant. Is that a fair statement?
So I'm actually on staff for them, but only very part-time, only 15 hours a week.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So that would be a little bit of a distinction then from a completely independent. Okay. Great. Right. Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that and clarifying that for me. I wasn't really fully aware of that either. So how then do you feel our Master Ambassador program has really helped support your skill development, both as a health coach and also as a workplace wellness professional, to provide coaching and consulting to both your private your private clients and also your employer clients?
I would say, so mostly it's helped me with the employment clients, because after I started with the company as a wellness concierge, I found your program, and it was just, to me, it was like the missing link for me. So while I felt really confident in what I was doing, the program that you have, the master certification, to me filled a lot of those holes for me.
Oh, okay.
And, what it helped with was developing the programs. I had already started developing them, and I felt pretty confident with them. But what I learned during the Master Workplace program was so much more. And it was, all about the value on investment and how important that was, and really working with some of the other workplace wellness professionals in your group. I mean, I learned so much. And then how to really develop a more well-rounded program. So I felt like my pieces were there, but the pieces I learned when we actually did our practices it just really filled a lot of the holes for me.
Well, I think, and I really appreciate you sharing that. And, some of this I'm actually learning from you for the first time, because, we have a wide base of ambassadors, and I don't always get to have this nice one-on-one time. And as you know, we're both going to go into another coaching call after this interview. And so, I really do appreciate that. And, you're also a group project leader. So while we're talking about that, maybe perhaps share with our viewer a little bit about what the campaigns involve and how you facilitated that as a project leader.
Right. So big project, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I loved Basecamp. We used Basecamp as our program to kind of keep everything organized. Right. And that was really I had some experience with Basecamp, but not to the level that we used it. And our group was really throughout the US, but we also had an international person who was from Dubai. And so to try to work within all 3 time zones in the US and then Dubai in the mix was very challenging. But Basecamp and using that as a platform really made things a ton easier. So as a group, as a project leader, what was helpful was we would kind of get on these calls with Zoom, which was another product that I'd used briefly, but not as to the depth that I had once we were in your program, to be able to record the calls and then post them. And for those that couldn't attend, it's like they could pop on and see it and then post comments. And it was almost like we were working in the same office, but in different places. Yeah,
and I'm so glad to share that, because one of the differentiators of our program, well, there are many, but one of the unique ones is that we're really training you to not only be able to deliver on-site, which of course you get all that through our program, but more so too is that I always say, and I use this expression a lot, that the world is your oyster when you have these tools at your fingertips. So there's nothing to stop, our ambassadors from reaching out globally and providing workplace wellness consulting, coaching to employees or what have you, because you're also very well versed. And I always get in such awe of each of you when I watch your presentations, because each of you as a group present your campaign to the group at large and to invited industry guests. So you're not only presenting to your peers, but you're being assessed by industry guests. So, we really set a high bar, in our program, as you know, and then you get feedback on that presentation. And so just more specifically too, and so thank you for that, more specifically too, in terms of what you felt you gained and developed as a project leader, that you could take those skills and transfer them into the work that you do.
Well, I think some of it was more confidence with how to manage and around the world in this case, right? Because now if I have clients around the world, or we have people that would like to participate around the world, I now have a platform and a tool that I can easily facilitate with, not a problem. Using the Zoom recorded calls and then using Basecamp as a platform, I could facilitate a program through that product, because I think it's an amazing tool.
You're absolutely right. Very well said. And so also, just if you wouldn't mind, just before we move on, just speak to the nature of the project you did, because it was quite interesting, and how you might take that campaign or other, because you also received other campaigns in the database, right, in our program from everyone else's projects and from past projects and future projects, because that's another big differentiator in our program, that you get this access. And I also shared last night, just a little let the cat out of the bag, in our new level 1, you're also going to start getting lunch and learns in a new campaign database on top of the wellness campaigns, the wellness campaigns already have lunch and learns, but now you're going to get even more from our new program participants. But anyway, to come back to my question though, your particular project, if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about that and maybe how you hope to use it in the future.
Yeah, actually, so we did Healthy Habits for Busy Managers, and ours was really designed for kind of a mid to higher level management group. And it was an 8-week series put together where you would do lunch and learns and or facilitate remotely with 8 different units. Mm-hmm. And the really cool thing that came out of that was actually like 2 weeks after our class, I had the opportunity that with a group that I was consulting with to facilitate one of the pieces out of there.
Okay.
Actually, 2 of them. We did the time management, which was awesome, and then we also did the stress reduction,
right,
part of it. So it was kind of cool because we took it right from the classroom into learning opportunity.
Oh, and that's really music to my ears. It really is, because that's what, when I set this program up, I don't only want you to have projects, but projects that are viable and usable and pragmatic for the workplace and provide value to the workplace, right? Mm-hmm. So, really good job there, Stephanie. And so just moving on then, and a couple other questions before we finish. Oftentimes I get this question both by, people interested in our program or in the social media groups and workplace wellness themes that I moderate. And they're often wondering and asking me, like, how do you network? How do you get new clients? How do you get new employer clients? What are your best practices and marketing strategies, perhaps, that you can share with our viewer along those lines?
So I'm in a BNI group, and I'm a big BNI believer. So I have really enjoyed that because there's so many within my group that have now kind of spider webbed out into some amazing opportunities.
Yeah, in fact, if I may, BNI, for those in our group or audience who may not know what BNI means, can you just tell us what BNI stands for?
Yep, it's a business networking group.
Okay.
So you have to become a member, okay. And as part of that, you are the only in your group of team. I guess we call it an outside team. But within your group, you are the only person that is in your segment. So I'm the only wellness person in my group.
Okay, excellent. And so what has that BNI group in particular done for you in helping support you and advance you in your business?
Well, so not only have but they've referred some people to me, but the really cool thing out of one of our meetings was we were just sitting talking to, I did a presentation at the Shorewood Realty. Mm-hmm. And during that presentation, I did kind of a lunch and learn, just 20-minute little deal. Right. And about a week later, the kind of facilitator of the whole office came to me and said, "Hey, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool if we did a wellness program here?" And I said, "Oh, that's a fabulous idea. I love that idea." Of course. So we've been in conversation with what that might look like, and we're meeting with her. And actually, one of the people that I met in our workplace wellness program is going to co-facilitate with me. She lives about 20 minutes from me. So.
Isn't that something? I just love these, I don't know, the serendipity or synchronicity or whatever you want to call it that happens in these programs, that people start collaborating and networking and pairing together. And that's amazing. I'm so happy for you and for, our other ambassador. So thank you so much. This has just been, I think, really valuable information that I can bring to our viewers and also share with our existing masters, because the more we learn about each other, the more we can support each other as well. So any final thoughts? Like, for example, one other question I wanted to ask you was, how do you feel the post-program support in our program has really helped you, further your training and your skill development as a master ambassador? So, for example, we have our Facebook group, as you know, and you're quite active in that. We have our Focus on Healthy Eating Facebook group, which is just starting up as a new program that our masters get to participate in as health coaches. And also, as you know, we have our mastermind sessions, and you get anywhere from 2 to 3 now in our new program of the mastermind sessions to really help support you further develop your marketing skills and your business development, and take what you learn in the program and even really bring it to the market. So how has all that really helped support you now in your efforts or your practices as a wellness ambassador?
So a couple of things. So a couple of the people coming out of the group are people that I've really stayed connected with. Number one, Kathleen and I have become good friends, and so we stay very connected. And then Sherry, who's another one of our classmates who lives near me. And that's really been huge, because when you start forming those connections and those relationships and friendships, it again continues to spider web out. But the Facebook group specifically for me allows me to really be able to keep current, because people always posting current, or here's what I'm doing, or here's a great, and a lot of it, you read it and you go, oh, that's a great aha moment, right?
Right.
Or why didn't I think of that? That's awesome. Or something I'm doing, sharing with somebody else, and then they are able to take away. So it's almost like the class continues, just in a different format.
Right. Yeah, no, thank you. And we also, as you know, provide professional development, and you're actually just signed up for one of our new programs, our Canva training program on, poster and graphic design development for workplace wellness. And also, even just today, I'm continually, as you know, posting things in our Facebook group. Like just today, I attended a webinar. So I share things that I learned from the webinar and posted it. Some really important marketing tips and techniques. So yes, you're absolutely right. I think we have a wonderful, supportive, collaborative group that, and not only that, the program you're with, but you get to connect them with other master ambassadors from across the globe who've come out of other programs and will come out of future programs. So yeah, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. So any final comments before we conclude our interview?
No, I think the one thing I would add, and I think I've alluded to it, but just to reiterate, the kind of the cool part is you almost join an office of amazing resources that you now have available to you. I mean, I there's several in there that have so much more experience that I feel like I could just type a quick note to and say, help, I'm stuck, or I have something coming up. Can you help me? And I wouldn't hesitate to know that I could trust what kind of feedback they're going to give me or response they're going to give me. So it's like a virtual office in a sense of amazing resources.
And I also just wanted to add too, like some of our group after our last mastermind series in our prior program to yours, they've actually formed their own mastermind group. And so just to let you know, that invite is there if you want to join them as well. And if they meet once or twice a month, and they work on things like proposal development to employers and what have you. So again, there's so many opportunities here for you to continue your skill development and get that peer support. And also we have our industry guests too that still participate, and as our advisors do in our Facebook group, like William McPeck and some others. So thank you, Stephanie, so much. I mean, your participation has really been quite meaningful and has really, enhanced our interview series. And it's really been an honor and delight to interview you here this evening. So if you want to learn more about Stephanie Flanders Martin of Lavender Elephant, please visit her or contact her through our website, which is thelavenderelephant.com. Did I get that right?
That's right.
Thelavenderelephant.com. And I'll also have that in the description at the bottom of our interview in our YouTube channel. So to learn more about our upcoming Workplace Wellness Ambassador certification programs and our Master Ambassador level, please visit us at kellywc.com, or by all means contact myself at info@kellywc.com. Also, be sure to watch our other KWC interviews hosted on our Kelly Wellness Consulting YouTube channel. Till we meet again, stay healthy and stay well, and as always, live your very best life. Thank you, everyone.